There is a sense of Port Adelaide peaking at the right time. Last year they ran the table on top. This year they faced adversity. They've reassembled the team and they have built their game. They have a sense of momentum, and what happened on Friday night presents them with the same opportunities. The hosting of a qualifying final and the potential advantages that come with that. Port Adelaide hold their fate in their hands heading to Friday nights. Their captain and coach are with us. Coach Ken Hinkley. Kenny, great to have you on 360 again.
Thanks, Jared. Jason.
And last year we fell victim to the dodgy internet at the Jonas household, so let's see how it holds up this year. Tom, great to have you back.
Nah, it's a bit better this time, gents, don't worry.
Kenny, it was your 200th game as coach, which I know was tucked deep into the background, but it is a significant milestone and it was a great match to honour such an occasion. Did you have any reflection at all of your longevity in the game?
No, not really, Jared. I've got to be honest, the game was a bit too close and look, we played some pretty good footy through the night. We managed to miss the scoreboard a fair bit and kept the game really alive to the end. I suppose at some stage, yeah, look, you do reflect in moments because you know how hard this job is to coach at AFL level, and you know I'm remarkably lucky that I've been able to stay in this job for 9+ years, and I've got a great team behind me that helped me, obviously, including the playing group mainly, who stick with it all the way.
Tom, 15,000 at Adelaide Oval. Is there any chance your health authorities and government might be prepared to bump that up by Friday night?
Yeah, I like to think there's a sneaky chance of that. I know there's a fair few people that missed out on tickets today, but regardless, I don't think you'll find allowed 15,000 people in any stadium. So they'll make a fair racket regardless.
Yeah, Port Adelaide flying at the Adelaide Oval. They might just riot over there, Jared. Those trying to get in, they might crash the gates down. Kenny, you've got such a good record in close games. How much time do you spend doing drills on last minute, last 2 minute, last 3 minute scenarios at training?
Yeah, we spent a bit of time, Jace. To be fair, we put a lot of time and effort into it because we understand as this year's played out, those results play a big part in how high in the ladder you can finish. And for us, with I think six games or something under 14 or 15 points we've won, it does put us in a good position now that we get second on the ladder. We get home finals. They're really important. But yeah, as a group, we spend a lot of time, particularly in pre-season, and we certainly revisit that regularly throughout the season as well.
What's that worth to you, Tom, in the sometimes the frenzied minutes at the end of a close game?
Yeah, it's highly valuable, and I think if you go back a few years, we were often on the other side of those performances. So it's a process we started to perfect probably 3 years ago, and we're starting to see the dividends of it now. And there's been no better time. So we've certainly had a fair few close ones this year. We haven't done too many of them that easily, but it's been really important for us, and it's held us in good stead.
Tommy, we've seen the great form of Alir this year. You've welcomed him into the back six. Is it as seamless as it looks, or did it take a while to sort of gel and get the evolution of his role in that defensive setup?
Yeah, he certainly welcomed me with open arms, and he's been magnificent. I think, look, it made it easier for blokes like me whose natural tendency is to shut someone down. When you've got a natural interceptor like Alir, he just came across and played his game. Obviously, there's been a couple of defenders that have been a bit unlucky throughout that, with Tommy Cleary missing out at the moment and Trent McKenzie missing out a lot of the earliest part of the season. But yeah, he's fit in really well, more so just as a great person within the playing group, and I think that's what's helped him transition into a really strong player for us down back as well.
Kenny, and what we saw on Friday night, we saw how much it meant to Travis Boak, and that's not to say that we don't normally. We saw how much it meant to Robbie Gray, and Ollie Wines was there, and Tom's a part of this. Can you sense that that sort of late season, late career push for the ultimate goal building within your senior core?
Yeah, absolutely, I do, Jared. And we talk about that a little bit. To be fair, these champions of our football club. The two you talked about at the start with Trav and Rob have been there the longest. Tom's obviously leading them now, and there's a lot of other players that are around the club. But we understand the importance of their careers, and our young players talk, I think, openly about not probably necessarily face to face to those two boys or the other 3 or 4, but they talk about wanting to honour them and respect them enough and give it their absolute everything to make sure that they get a chance to go out as a premiership player of our football club. And clearly both boys are not going out in a hurry, so hopefully they've got a few more shots at it.
Kenny's selection becomes so critical at this time of year. Injuries, form, all those sorts of things. Can you give us the Georgiades update and Orazio Fantasia? Where's he at?
Yeah, I'll start in reverse. Orazio, I think, will be fine, and he'll have to just get through training on Wednesday, which we expect he'll do, no worries. Mitch is a slightly different one. He had his scan today. The scan results have come back really positive, so there's optimism in what Mitch Georgiades may be able to do come Wednesday. Clearly, we won't take any chances with it. We've enjoyed the 4 talls in our side at times, but we understand that the speed and the talent of Orazio Fantasia too that could bring back into the side. So whichever way it lands, we'll give them every chance to get up right to the end and see how we go. But whichever way it lands, we'll have a strong side out there regardless.
Oh, Tommy's dropped out. Oh, no, there he is. There he is. Tom, what's the worth of last year's experience to you as you front up again to a final series where you've secured a top 2 berth once more?
Yeah, I'm not sure we'll know until sort of the next couple of weeks, but I think it'll be really valuable, in particularly for some of the younger players that haven't been there before. So, Mitch Georgiades, if he gets up first time, Bart's Rosie, Dersma, the likes of those boys have proved really valuable for. And like you said, we've actually had a lot of close games already this year and been able to execute well in those times. So I think we've been well prepared throughout the whole season.
Will you revisit it, Kenny? So the qualifying final's a triumph, the preliminary final is just desperately close, both on your home turf. Will you revisit those events?
No, I don't think so, Jared. I don't think we have time to revisit them too much, other than hopefully we've learned a little bit from them. We understand the pain of the loss, particularly in the prelim final. And, you work so hard to get somewhere in this competition and to get within a goal of the eventual premiers gives you a sense that you're really, really close, but you have to go through the whole season. That's why I was really big on the whole year about, let's not talk about 1 or 2 rounds. Let's talk about wait till we get to the end of 23, see where we qualify, give ourselves an opportunity, get through some of the difficulties that every club's faced this season. We're in a really good position to challenge strongly. I said after the game, we're in as good a shape as anyone to go. So we're getting now a great opportunity, but to revisit last year, it'll be a moment. I'm sure players and myself will think about it at some point, but hopefully we're playing well enough that we can look forward to the future more than the past.
Kenny, you would have watched Melbourne-Geelong very closely, I suspect, given you could be running into 1 or 2 of those throughout the course of the next month or so. What did you take out of that, particularly given they got hold of you earlier in the season?
I took it to a crazy football season, Jason. I did that. I went, what's going on here? And the Cats lit up for about 5 minutes in the second quarter, and it seemed like game was over. And then Melbourne, to their credit, kept going. But you watch all games. I watched them, and it was a fantastic football weekend. And when you get a chance to watch those games that we did, we understand a lot about the sides that we're coming up against. We spent a lot of time, particularly, Geelong probably more so even than Melbourne, because we've had great clashes over just the last couple of years, last 18 months, and we've been on the receiving end a couple of times. We've been in front once or twice. We know it's going to be another cliffhanger come Friday night, but we tune into the game, and I don't think you learn that much, to be fair. All you do is probably terrorise yourself a little bit.
That's very good. It's quite clear now that the Victorian teams and the Sydney teams based in Victoria, when they leave, they're not coming home while they're alive. Kenny, do you have a read? Do you expect that you have rights to host another final, be it a semi-final or a preliminary final? Do you have the read that you will get to host that at Adelaide Oval?
Yeah, rights is probably not the word we'd use this year. We've worked ourselves into a position, but we probably do expect that, certainly we've got this week's final. Adelaide and the state of South Australia in really good shape with COVID situation. We've got our borders open probably to the right places, I'd imagine, at this stage. I think we probably will get a second final, hopefully, that we earn. But we're not 100% certain. But again, whatever's needed, whenever it's needed, we'll just do what we have to.
And Tom, do you hold a candle that Adelaide Oval might host the grand final, regardless of your participation?
Yeah, very small candle, boys. That'd be amazing. We'd absolutely love that. But to be honest, if we're planning a granny, which is the plan, we don't really care where it is. We'll take it regardless.
Yeah, so across the next border, just a little bit further to the west. It's always great to have you both on, and the best of luck for the campaign that's to come. Tom, Kenny, go well.
Thanks, boys.
Cheers, gentlemen. Thanks for having us.